Good morning, students. Welcome to our new class. Myself, Manoj Chotia from Raghunath Vidyalaya, Ratangad. We are studying chapter Morphology of Flowering Plant. In this chapter, we studied about root, stem, and structure of leaves. Now, our topic is venation in leaves. There is two type of venation, reticulate and parallel. First of all, what is venation? The arrangement of veins and veinlets in the lamina is termed as venation. Means the arrangement, this is a leaf and this part is called midrib and these are called lateral rib and these are called veins. So we can say the arrangement of midrib, lateral rib and veins in the lamina, because this part of leaf is called leaf blade or leaf lamina. So the arrangement of veins and veinlets in the lamina is termed as venation. It is basically of two types, reticulate and parallel. They may be further modified in so many parts, means pinnate and palmate, but in our course there is only two types, reticulate and parallel. First of all, we talk about reticulate. Veins are irregularly disturbed without a defined pattern. Veins form a network in the leaf, that is dicots. Means whenever lateral ribs are not parallel to each other and the veinlets are make a net like structure, then it is called reticulate. Means veins are irregularly disturbed without a definite pattern. Veins form a network in the leaf. Example, dicots or dicotyledon. But whenever in parallel we can see the midrib and lateral rib are parallel to each other and veinlets are also parallel to each other, then it is called parallel type of venation. Veins are arranged in a parallel row. Veins do not form a network in the leaf. Example, monocot. Example क्या है? Monocot. Whenever veins and veinlets are perform a network like structure or a net like structure, then it is called reticulate. And whenever veins or lateral veins and veinlets are parallel to each other, then this type of venation is called parallel venation. Now next topic is types of leaves. There are two types of leaves, simple and compound. A leaf said to be a simple. A leaf said to be a simple when the blade or a leaf is undivided, although it may be deeply intended. Or the leaf should have a single lamina, and however deep the indentions or inclusion may be, they should not touch the midrib. Means whenever a simple lamina is found, then it is called a simple leaf. When this lamina is not touched to the midrib, then it is called simple leaf. Then second, compound leaf. A leaf is said to be compound leaf when the leaf blade is divided into several parts of the segment. When the leaf lamina is divided into several parts or segment called leaflets, and these parts are called leaflet. Means these are the leaflet. Means lamina is divided into several parts. The indications or inclusion go up to midrib, hence the leaflet are not connected by lamina and free from one another. That is called compound leaf. Compound leaf is further divided in two parts, pinnate and palmate. When the leaflet are attached to the midrib, when the leaflet are attached to the midrib, or we can say rachis, the leaflet are arranged laterally or alternate or opposite to the midrib, then it is called pinnate. And when the leaflet radically from the end of the petiole, the leaflet are jointed at the common point, it may be look like a finger of palm, then it is called palmate. Example, you can see just this type of leaf. This midrib is divided into three parts, but they are joined at a point. But here this type midrib is not jointed, then it is called pinnate. Pinnate means the leaflet are attached to the midrib or rachis, but in palmate the leaflet radicate from the end of the petiole. Means this is the petiole, and from here midrib is converted into different parts, then it is called palmate. Now next topic is phyllotaxy. What is phyllotaxy? The arrangement of leaves on a stem or branch. The phyllotaxy is done. Phyllotaxy is an arrangement of leaves on a stem or a branch. The leaves are so arranged that they get appropriate amount of sunlight for photosynthesis. It avoids overlapping of leaves at one place. It is basically of three types: first alternate, second opposite, and third whorl. Whenever only a single leaf is arises, from the node, then it is called alternate. There is only a single leaf at each node. The leaves may be arranged in a same plane or spherical around the main stem or branch. Means the leaves arises only a single side, or it may be in alternate manner. Means whenever only a single leaf is arises from a node, then it is called alternate manner. Example, mango, China rose. Second, opposite. Whenever the two leaves are arises from a single node, then it is called opposite. There are two leaves present at the same node and in opposite to each other, then it is called opposite. Example, Calotropis, Tulsi, Ocimum sanctum. Now next, whorl. Whenever more than two leaves are arises from a single node, then it is called whorl. In this arrangement, there are more than 2-3 leaves at each node. They may be present in whorl or a circle. Example, Nerium, Alstonia are the example of whorl leaf. Now our today's last or next topic is modifications of leaves. Modifications of leaf. First, leaf tendril in P. Tendril is a thread-like coiled structure which help in climbing to the plant to obtain sunlight to make their food or photosynthesis. Example, P. Leaf spines. Whenever leaves may be wholly or partially modified into sharp and pointed structure called spines. They help to reduce the transpiration and protect the plant from grazing animals. Example, Cactus opuntia. Scaly leaves. The third modification of leaves is scaly leaves. These may be dry, brownish, membranous in asparagus to reduce transpiration, or thick and fleshy as the inner leaves of onion state for the storage of food material. Next, phylloid. The petiole of the compound leaf. The petiole of the compound leaf become flattened and leaf-like it to do photosynthesis, while the compound laminas frequently disappear. Means this part is called lamina. Lamina is disappear and petiole is converted into a greenish structure to do photosynthesis. Then it is called phylloid. Example, Australian acacia. Next, pitcher shaped. A pitcher in the pitcher plant, Nepenthes are modified leaves because they have lack of nitrogen substance in it, so they can obtain nitrogen by insects. So their structure is changed into the pitcher like, or in Utricularia its shapes is changed into a bladder like structure, or leaves modified into a bladder. Utricularia, an aquatic carnivorous plant, free floating tanks, some of its segmented leaves are modified into tiny bladder. Each bladder has a tiny valve that opens it inwards only. So these are the pitcher shaped and bladder shaped are the plants which can eat insects to fulfill their requirement of nitrogen. So these are the modifications of leaves. And thank you for today's class.